Here we continue the second lesson for week 10. Before I get into this, I wanted to just finish that problem on the first video. We left off where we had just found the x-intercepts, and we knew that they're going to touch at -1 and at 6. So we want to find the y-intercept. To find the y-intercept is where you take the equation x squared minus 7x plus 6 equals 0, but instead of 0 we're going to say y, and then we're going to put 0 in for x. This is where x equals 0 on the y-intercept. 7 times 0 plus 6 equals y, so 0, 0, 6 equals y. So we know we come down here, or come up here to 6. 4, 6. Something is not right. Let me think. Okay, I found the thing that's not right. Look what I did over here. Let's go way back to the beginning. We want this to be a positive 6. So that means this is going to have to be a positive 1. And so that's what no, that means this is going to have to be a -1. A negative times a negative is a positive. So it means this is -1 and this is positive 1. So now this means that this is going to hit here at 1. Oh, I totally messed up the end of that video yesterday, didn't I? So then my y-intercept is 6. So we know this is going to go through the y-intercept, come down somewhere down here, then it's going to change direction and come back up. And how do I know it's going to come back up? Because that number is positive. That first value is a positive. It's going to open up. I made that little mistake here. This gives us the general idea. What we're going to do in this next lesson is we're going to actually find out what is that vertex. Where can we find that vertex? So now let's get into this, and hopefully I don't make a silly little mistake. So we're going to find the vertex, and how can I use the x-intercepts to find the vertex? Well, we're pretty good about finding the x-intercepts now, aren't we? We're going to use our little square to help us organize our thoughts for finding out how this could be set up. So we're going to multiply those across, and when we multiply those across, we get -5x squared. This middle number goes on the bottom. What multiplies to -5 that adds to 4? How about 5 and -1? Okay, put x's there. 5x and -1x is a positive 4 multiplied. It's a -5. So we're going to get 5x and -1x. And now let's multiply. See what we get. X times x. That's an easy box to fill in. So what do we need to multiply to get 4? 4. Oh, wait. Oops, I put a 4 instead of a 5. Should be a 5. I am not doing very well today. Okay, put a 5, and then 5 times -1. Okay, here are our concepts. X, or our factors. X plus 5, x minus 1, and we're going to set those equal to 0. And we've done this before, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to set each of these factors to 0. X minus 1 equals 0. X plus 5 equals 0. We're going to get x equals -5 and x equals 1. And what do these numbers mean? These numbers tell us where they cross the x-axis. 2, 4, 5. Okay? Now, how can I use the x-intercepts to determine the vertex? Well, one thing is the vertex is going to be halfway between. So do you see how between 5 and -5 and 1, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces. So if I go 6 spaces and I add them together, I divide them in half, I'm going to get 3. Half of 6 is 3. So 1, 2, 3 gives us at -2. So somewhere in between the exact middle of these 2 points on the vertex, this is called the line of symmetry. Okay, so exact middle between the x-intercepts, also called the zeros of the equation, is the line of symmetry. And what's important of that symmetry is the vertex lies on this line. Okay? So we know that that happens when x equals -2. So I'm going to take -2 and I'm going to plug it into the equation. So if we go y equals -2 squared plus 4 times -2 minus 5, we're going to get y equals 4 plus -8 minus 5. So we're going to get -4, when I add those two together, minus 5 equals -9. So we know y equals -9. So I'm going to come down here to -2, -9, and we're going to put a point, and that is our vertex. So now when I go to graph it, I can just go like this. And the one cool thing about a parabola is that everything on one side of the line of symmetry is mirrored or reflected on the other side. So do you see how this is 1, 2, 3 away? Then this point here is 1, 2, 3 away. So right here, if I was like one and a little bit away, then this would be 1 and a little bit away. It's not the perfect example right there. Let's try it on the next one and see if we can get a better example. And we did sketch the graph, so we're good there. Okay. When I see the equation, one of the first things we're going to do is set up our organization. X squared -6, multiply across -6x squared. This middle number goes down here, 1x. Now what multiplies to make 6 that we can get a 1 out of? How about a 3x and a -2x, right? 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 times -2 is -6. So 3x, -2x. And then let's go ahead and, we know that's x times x. X times x makes x squared. X times what makes 3x? How about 3? 3 times -2, and look at that. That makes -2 times x is -2x. So here are our terms. So we get x plus 3 and x minus 2. Set that equal to 0. We're going to use the zero product rule, where we take the two equations and set them equal to 0. And we find out that x equals -3 and x equals 2. So we're going to go here to -3 and put a point at 2. Now if I want to graph this, I have to find what's between these. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps away. Well, what's half of 5? Okay, half of 5 is 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So we're going to go 1, 2.5. So that's going to put me right here at -1/2, right? Halfway is -1/2. Another way I could do that, this is by doing it geometrically, is I find somewhere in the middle. Mathematically, I can take these two numbers, -3 plus 2, and divide by 2. I'm going to get -1 divided by, oh, look at -1/2, which is that is our line of symmetry. We know that our line of symmetry is where the vertex lies. So we're going to take this, y equals -1/2 squared plus 1/2 minus 6. So we're going to get 1/4 plus 1/2 minus 6. We need a common denominator. Let's use 4. 2/4 plus, 1/4 plus 2/4 minus, if I write -6 over 1 is something over 4, to multiply by 4, so I'm going to get -24/4, so minus 24/4. Now I have something over 4. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 minus 24 is -21. And if I divide that, -21 divided by 4 is -5, and there's 1 left over. So -5 1/4. So that means I'm going to go down here, -5, 4, 5, and 1/4, just a little tiny bit more, and that means our graph is going to look something like this. So why is that number important? Because we found the middle, the line of symmetry is -1/2, and the -5 1/4 is their y value. So this is our vertex, and that's really a cool way to find it. I like that. Okay, let's turn the page and look at these two problems here. Okay. The x-intercepts of the graph are 3 and 5. What is the x-coordinate of the vertex? Oh, well, if we know the x-intercepts are 3 and 5, I just have to find the number, between them. So I could take the x values, and we could do this algebraically. 3 plus 5 divided by 2 is 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And how do we know? Because it is halfway between the x-intercepts, or the zeros. Now, to use my answer in part B to find the y-coordinate of the vertex. So I know that the equation is y equals 2x squared minus 16x plus 30, and we know that the x value is 4 for the vertex, so we're going to just plug in 4. 4 squared minus 16 times 4 plus 30, and that gives us what? 4 squared is 16, 16 times 2 is 32 minus 16 times 4 is 64 plus 30. 32 minus 64 is negative 32 plus 30. Oh, that's going to give us negative 2. So our vertex then is 4, negative 2. 4, negative 2. All right. Problem number 2 down here. There's 2 parts for it. This is your homework. This is where you can show what you know. Okay, I can give you some hints. For this first one, to get you started, the x-intercepts, you're going to factor them out, and you're going to get 2 things, set them equal to 0. Okay, the y-intercept, that's where you're going to set x equal to 0, and you're going to plug that in. The line of symmetry, this is the halfway between the x-intercepts. The answers that you got in part A, and you're going to have an equation that says x equals something. The vertex is going to be the x value in part C, plus then the y value, you're going to plug in the x. And then that should be enough information to graph it. Of course, if you have trouble doing this, I highly recommend you do this on your own. But we will be going over this the Wednesday Zoom this week. All right? Have a great day, and I hope that you are remembering this stuff and getting really good at it. We will talk to you later. Bye.